Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to learn a very important topic, and it's very highlighting topic like how to call an API in a Node.js using a Node.js. So, calling API using Node.js is a very important thing because at the end target for any technology is to deal with an API. So in this session, we are going to learn how to calling API in a Node.js server. Okay. So this topic will be going to very interesting, and within just 4 to 5 minutes, we can call the API. It is nothing gets complicated. We already know that the Node.js is going to provide a lot of built-in models are there. Node.js model, we can call it the NPM model, that is a node packaging model. So using that built-in models, we can calling an API. Okay, so the prerequisite, what thing we have needed, we need to node install in our laptop server that we already done in 2 3 sessions. Now in this session, we are going to use the two things we have needed. As usual, that we need one HTTP modules for creating a server, because at that we are running the node Java at the server side, so we need one server that we are going to create. And after that, for calling API, we need one model, and that model is nothing but a request model, requests. Okay. So using this request model, we are going to calling an API. Within the 4 to 5 line, we can just making this code, and according to that, that APIs get called. Okay, without wasting time. So what I'm going to create, so simply the whatever the code is needed for creating a server, that code I'm going to copy this stuff. So this is basic steps is there. It is for creating an HTTP server. So create server function and this right head and these things. Okay, and this stuff is there, and I will keep as it is. And whichever the main code for calling API, that going to we are call API in this session. Okay, so let's me create a file API dot JS file. Okay, just simply paste this. Means half of the work is done, and every time this code is remain the same, so constant, so that there is no need to type again and again. This is simply thing is that it is generating one, creating a one external server, so that you can run the JavaScript file on a server, a Node.js environment. Okay. Now what we needed, now needed one like API. So which whatever the API we want to call, that API you have to just hit on a browser. So simply I have already one link is there. Okay, this is API. You may have any kind of API, just simply it is there. The important is that that response should be in a JSON format. See, now this is what the API that is a response is giving. Okay. So this is basically a JSON response, and then again, what exactly the JSON? The JSON is a JavaScript object notation. It is a kind of it is not a programming languages. You may say that it is a kind of a data format which is used to exchange the data over the internet. Okay, so in the basically we have to object, like we have to just understand this format, what exactly the JSON is. The JSON is having holding a data in the JSON object, JSON array, any form of key value pair. Okay, so our first target is to load this data as it is on our system. So for that, what we have required, we required one modules, and that modules is nothing but a required module. So simply I'm going to type here like const, that is const, and just req, or you can say that a request, any variable you can use. So I'm just using a request entire. Okay. Then what we are going to do, require. So require, require, and go here and just type the module name. Just make sure that you have typed it request, request, request module is there. Now we have simply created a one request module. Now using this request module, before that, which API you want to call, just take that URL, or you may say that take that things, and make sure that here not plain text you are going to call. In last session we have seen the HTML pages, so we are writing the text slash HTML or HTML pages, and for simply printing things we are using the plain text. But now, as of now, the response will be in the form of which format? A JSON. So we are writing a JSON. After that, what thing we needed, we need one URL. URL means what is the API link that we have. Just simply copy that API link and paste it here, and just make sure that they ended with a semicolon. So this is API link. You may use any API link, whatever the things up to you have. So that API link and he can paste it here. Okay. Now we have required model. We have installed the modules and which is already there, and then we have passing one URL there. After that, um, use that request and for like whatever the URL you want to call that thing. So just use the request after. Here we have to pass some basic parameter. The first parameter is URL. So anything that API that you want to call that API, and it provide some kind of response. Maybe having some errors also you may get. So that error model things. Then there is a response is there, response response. So which object we're using, response. See, response model response is there. It is small case. Make sure that both are different. Whenever there is a first letter is uppercase, that means that is a class. So response and one is a body. So these are the simple models. One is error. Either it will get a written error or it may give the response or it may be in the body format. After that, we have to write this response in this arrow kind of things. Fine. Opening bracket, closing bracket. Now this thing is ready. The request this URL, and if error occurs, give the response in error. If there is something proper response, then give it in a response. Or in the body, it is written entire the body. Okay. First of all, I'm going to write a simple things and just trying to print like res request dot, or just first of all make sure that just maintain a log. So I'm just going to write one log here, or you can say that console.log, right? Console.log, and just try to print the body. So let's check what kind of response we are getting in the body. But again, it is now only printing on a console, not a browser. Okay, so make sure that that is so simply we have done this there. Okay, if you want to print any errors occur, then that also you can print. So you may also write the if error. So I'm writing the if errors occurs, error. Okay, errors occur, then also you can write a console. Within that line I'm going to write the console dot log. If any error occur, print that error also. Okay, so here the error object. Okay, is there any error occurs, print that error. If there is no error, then that whatever the body, whatever the response that we are getting right in the console, we are still not writing the content on a page, web page, just we're just trying to maintain it on a console. Just go there, just making the new open terminal. So whatever the previously terminal are open, just make sure that it's going to be, yeah, just close is there. Fine. So for running Node.js server, so write the node and then the API.js, whatever you have, JS.js file, just try to hit. So now it is going to print on a console, but the condition is that you have to run that file in a browser. So just go to the browser and type local host 8080 and this thing. Okay, so though it is not printing, but we have printed the message on console. Go there console, and that's all. You are getting all the response body, that is the JSON response body on your console. As simple as that. Because every technology now have nowadays you have to deal with the JSONs or API data. So the every technology trying to provide some simplification modules, libraries, jar files, and etc. etc. So in the similar way, the Node.js is providing one required module. So within that module, you can using that module, you can call it JSON data. Okay. Now the challenge is that like what we have to do. What if I want to like print this data on a browser? So it is up to now the 80-90% work is done. Now what we have to do, we have to simply try to find this data on a browser. So now it is just a raw data in a string kind of format. So first of all, we have to generate this data, or you have to make this data in our required format. So whatever the data we want to write, that data we have to extract. Okay. So now I'm going to simply like what we can say that request dot end is there. So I'll just simply make first of all extract the data what you want to do, or simply just I'm trying to maintain one. Then stringify function is there, Using that function, you can just add the body and just make sure that I will work is there. Let's see how it was. JSON dot stringify, whatever the string response you are getting, that string response is not going to write on a browser. So like a body. Fine, so run it again, and once you run that thing, the thing is going to print it on a browser. So let's control C over there dot APM. Okay, just go to the browser and just refresh it. Um, no, not it working. So let's check. It is not going to work right now here. So what is body is not defined. Okay, that it is not a global. It is working kind of local kind of things. Okay. So we are writing the message apart from the body. So just cut these messages and print it here. This local and global kind of issue. Just go there again, hit the enter. Now go there and just refresh it. Boom. Or it may take some time. That's all. Okay. See, you are getting a JSON data in this format. Okay. Simply so that you can read the data on console also, even you can print that data on a browser also. Okay, but now the thing is that what if you want to particular data means what, this is a lot of things, stuff is getting printed, but you want only a particular data. What if I want this only, I want to access this hospital name, not the other else part. So that is also not that complicated. So for that, what we have to do, just created one object, any object you can create, for example the const, and I'm using some data variable is equal to. So for that you have to use a JSON dot parse. So which data you want to parse, and accordingly the object name and the thing is that accordingly you have to print. So first of all, what I'm going to parse, I want to parse the things. So whatever the response dot body, RESPON response dot body, whatever the response is coming in the body, that going to will take first of all one constant data, and within that data we are trying to extract our required data. Okay, so one more variable I'm going to take, variable, suppose the dt is equal to, now in the data the entire JSON data is there. Apart from that, what data we wanted, so if you observe this code, so first of all we have an object as a posts. Within that posts data we are having one post array, and within that array we are having this data. Okay, for example, so that we can write the first of all posts. So whatever the data we are having, posts post, within that post things. So first of all we have the status also, we are just trying to access the status. Let's check the status first, and then we are going with the uh, JSON data. So now instead of printing the entire body, I'm just trying to print this status. Just go there, just control C, up arrow, hit the enter, just go to the browser and now refresh it. Oh, just refresh it. See, now we are just getting 200 as a status because this is a status that we are getting here. Okay. Now, instead of 200, okay, this is also okay. We are extracting only the particular data. Now, within this post, there is a post name array. Within that post array, we have to access this JSON array name. So for that, what we have to do in similar manner, so just as of now, we are getting the data like a variable, this data within that post we are accessing. Within that post, there is one variable, that array is there. Instead of that status, I want to print now the post array, post array. Within that post array, which position data you want to print? So I'm just want to 0th position data I want to print. Okay. Simply go there, just try to explain one more time, run to try, just go there and refresh it. So you'll having the first hospital name or first thing. Apart from the entire array response, we are accessing only like what things? Particular data things. Particular row number ones data you are extracting. Apart from that, if you want to simply only want to print hospital data, that also you can do. Just for that, what you have to do, for the 0th position, which key want to print, just write that key name here is there. Okay. So apart from that first row or first data, we want to print only a hospital name. So that also you can print. Just go to the console, try to node.js. Now apart from this zeroth row, what you want to print? Hospital name. So just refresh it. So you'll get only that particular hospital name. Okay. See, so that's all. So as it is there, so just nothing gets complicated. Simply we have to use the require module, whichever the API link you are having. Just trying to write API link here. The first target is to access the entire data as it is. The whatever the data it is having, you simply call that data as it is, and then you're going to print first of all response and try to understand what kind of object name is there, what kind of array name is there. Accordingly here can that just json dot parse, first of all pass the entire json response, and then accordingly whatever the object name or array name you are having, and then you can just print this json dot stringify and just convert that data and trying to print on the browsers. Okay, it is very simple things, just not complicated. Just try to use now, try to pass the any json response, and you can easily pass the json or API. So in this way, you can call the any API in the Node.js server. It is as simple. Okay. Thank you. Hope you understood these things. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.